3 days in this hospital bed, and she finally walks through the door, not with flowers, not with concern, but with that look on her face. The one that says, I'm wasting her precious time. Well, you're awake. Linda, my daughter-in-law, standing at the foot of my bed like she's inspecting a used car she's about to return. I try to sit up. The wires and tubes make it hard. Everything makes it hard these days. I've been awake, I say, my voice scratchy. Where's... He's parking. She cuts me off, adjusting that designer purse on her shoulder. The one that cost more than my monthly mortgage. We couldn't both leave work in the middle of the day, you know. Some of us have responsibilities. The Venetian blinds slice the evening light into golden bars across the room. Dust particles float in the beams. I watch them drift, wondering if I imagined the edge in her voice. I didn't. The house is a disaster, she continues, pulling out her phone, scrolling, not even looking at me. I stopped by yesterday to grab your insurance papers. Dust everywhere, dishes in the sink. I don't know what you've been doing all week, but I've been here, I whisper. Before that. She looks up now, eyes sharp. David said you've been complaining about chest pains for 2 weeks. 2 weeks, and you didn't clean? Didn't cook? Just sat around feeling sorry for yourself? My hand grips the bed rail. It's cold. Everything in this room is cold. I wasn't feeling well. Right. She laughs, but there's no humor in it. Not feeling well enough to vacuum, but well enough to call my husband at work 3 times a day, crying about how you couldn't breathe. The monitor beside me beeps, steady, mocking. Linda, you know what the doctor told us when we got here? She steps closer, and I can smell her perfume. Expensive, suffocating. He said your symptoms were vague. That's the word he used. Vague. You were dizzy, tired, nauseous, classic signs of someone who wants attention. I feel tears burning behind my eyes, but I won't let them fall. Not in front of her. I wasn't. You were. She crosses her arms. And now David's worried sick, missing work, running around trying to take care of you when you should be taking care of yourself. You're not that old. You're 67, not 97. The door opens. My son walks in, and my heart lifts for just a second. He'll defend me. He'll tell her to stop. But he doesn't. He stands by the window, hands in his pockets, staring out at the parking lot. His reflection in the glass looks like a stranger. Hi, sweetheart, I say softly. Hey, Ma. He doesn't turn around. Linda glances at him, then back at me, satisfied. Look, she says, her voice dropping into something that almost sounds kind. Almost. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to be realistic. You live alone in that big house. You don't take care of it. You don't take care of yourself. And then you end up here, and we have to drop everything. I didn't ask you to come, I say, louder than I intended. The monitor beeps faster. Linda's smile is thin, sharp. No, you just guilt-tripped my husband until he had no choice. Linda, my son's voice, finally, quiet, weak. Come on. Come on, what? She turns on him. You know I'm right. Your mother needs to take responsibility. She needs to stop faking it and clean her house, manage her health, and stop dragging us into her drama every 5 seconds. Stop faking it and clean. The words hang in the air like poison. I stare at her, at my son, at the ceiling tiles with their water stains and cracks. I'm not faking anything, I whisper. Sure. Linda picks up her purse. Well, when they discharge you tomorrow because, let's be honest, they will, you're going to go home and get your life together. Okay? We can't keep doing this. She leans down, and for a horrible second, I think she might kiss my forehead. She doesn't. We love you, she says, but you need to help yourself. Then she's gone, heels clicking down the hallway like gunshots. My son lingers by the window. I wait for him to say something, anything. Get some rest, Ma, he finally murmurs. And then he's gone too. The room is quiet. Just me and the machines, beeping, breathing for me, watching me. I close my eyes. Stop faking it. I replay the words over and over. Her voice, his silence. They think I'm lying. They think I'm weak. Pathetic. A burden. Maybe they're right. No. No. Something is wrong. I know my body. I've lived in it for 67 years. The dizziness, the nausea, the way my heart races when I stand up, that's not in my head. But no one believes me. Not even my own son. I open my eyes and stare at the IV drip. Clear liquid sliding into my veins, one drop at a time. What's in it? What are they giving me? I asked the nurse earlier, but she just smiled and said, "Medicine to help you feel better." I don't feel better. I feel worse. The door opens again, soft this time. A nurse different from the others steps in. She's young, maybe 30, with tired eyes and a kind smile. "How are we doing, Mrs. Hayes?" she asks, checking the machines. "Tired," I admit. "I bet." She adjusts something on the IV stand. Her hands move quickly, efficiently. "You've been through a lot." I watch her. She won't meet my eyes. "What's wrong with me?" I ask. She hesitates, just for a second, but I see it. "The doctor will talk to you in the morning," she says carefully. "What kind of tests?" "Just routine." She smooths the blanket over my legs, tucks it in too tight. "Try to get some sleep, okay?" She turns to leave, and I don't know why I say it. Maybe because I'm desperate. Maybe because I need someone to hear me. My daughter-in-law thinks I'm faking. The nurse stops, looks back at me. And for the first time all day, someone looks at me like I matter. "You're not faking," she says quietly. "How do you know?" She glances at the door, then back at me. Her voice drops to almost a whisper. "Because we're running more tests in the morning. The doctor seems concerned." My chest tightens. Concerned about what? She bites her lip, shakes her head. "I really can't say. But," she pauses, "just know that we're taking this seriously, okay?" She slips out before I can ask anything else. The room goes dark. The machines glow in the shadows, green lights, red numbers, steady beeps. I lie there, staring at the ceiling. Concerned. That's not a word doctors use when you're faking it. That's a word they use when something is very, very wrong. My hand trembles as I touch my chest, feeling my heartbeat beneath the thin hospital gown. It flutters, uneven, like a bird trapped in a cage. "Stop faking it and clean." Linda's voice echoes in my head. But I'm not faking. And tomorrow, when that doctor walks in with his test results, when he says whatever it is that has him concerned, they're all going to know it too. I close my eyes and wait for morning. But something inside me already knows. This isn't just about chest pains. This is about something darker. Something that didn't happen by accident. The footsteps wake me before the sun does. Fast, purposeful. Not the lazy shuffle of the night shift nurse, but something urgent. I know those footsteps, Dr. Patel. He's been my cardiologist for 5 years, and I've never heard him move that quickly. My heart starts racing before he even reaches my door. The clock on the wall reads 6:47 a.m. Too early for rounds, too early for good news. I try to sit up, but my arms feel like lead. The machines around me beep in protest as I shift, wires pulling at my skin. The door swings open. Dr. Patel steps inside, and the first thing I notice is the folder. Manila, thick, clutched against his chest like it might escape if he loosens his grip. The second thing I notice is his face. He looks like he hasn't slept. "Good morning, Mrs. Hayes," he says, but his voice is too controlled, too measured, like he's practiced this conversation in his head a dozen times. "Doctor," I manage. My throat is dry. "What's—" The door opens again behind him. Linda. Of course. She breezes in like she owns the place, perfectly dressed in a cream blouse and tailored pants. Hair smooth, makeup flawless. She probably woke up at 5 to look this put together. "Dr. Patel," she says warmly, extending her hand. "Thank you for calling us. We wanted to be here for the results." He shakes her hand, but his smile doesn't reach his eyes. "Of course. Is your husband?" "Right here." My son appears in the doorway, rumpled and tired. He looks like he actually slept in his clothes. "Sorry, couldn't find parking." Linda shoots him a look. He ignores it and moves to my bedside, squeezing my hand. His palm is clammy. "How you feeling, Ma?" "I've been better," I whisper. Dr. Patel clears his throat. "Why don't we all sit down?" That's when I know. Doctors don't ask people to sit unless the news can knock them over. Linda perches on the edge of the chair by the window, crossing her legs. She pulls out her phone, holding it up. "Do you mind if I record this?" she asks sweetly. "For our records, just so we don't miss anything important." Dr. Patel hesitates. "That's not typically." "It's fine," my son says quickly. Too quickly. "Ma, you okay with that?" I stare at Linda, at her phone, at the little red dot that says it's already recording. She's not doing this to remember details. She's doing this to catch me in a lie. "Sure," I say quietly. Dr. Patel opens the folder. I catch a glimpse of the top page, my name at the top, and in the corner, stamped in red ink, "Urgent." My stomach drops. "Mrs. Hayes," he begins, looking directly at me. "We ran a comprehensive panel on your blood work after you were admitted. Your initial symptoms, dizziness, nausea, irregular heartbeat, suggested cardiac distress, which is why we kept you for observation." Linda shifts in her seat. I can feel her smirk without even looking. Here it comes. He's going to say it's anxiety, stress, all in my head. "Your troponin levels are elevated," Dr. Patel continues. "Significantly elevated. Troponin is an enzyme that indicates damage to the heart muscle. In your case, the levels suggest you've experienced ongoing cardiac stress, not a single event, but repeated trauma over an extended period." Silence. Linda's phone hovers mid-air, frozen. My son's hand tightens around mine. "I don't understand," I say. "What does that mean?" Dr. Patel flips a page. His jaw tightens. "It means your heart has been under attack, but not from natural causes." The room goes cold. Linda slowly lowers her phone. Just an inch. Her confident smile falters, cracks at the edges like thin ice. "Attack?" my son repeats. "What are you talking about?" Dr. Patel looks at him, then at Linda, then back at me. "We ran additional tests," he says carefully. "Toxicology screens, standard procedure when we see unexplained symptoms like yours." My pulse pounds in my ears. "And?" Linda's voice is too high, too tight. Dr. Patel opens the folder wider, pulling out a second sheet. He sets it on the rolling table beside my bed so we can all see. Numbers, columns, medical terms I don't understand. But I see one word clearly: positive. "Mrs. Hayes," Dr. Patel says, his voice careful, measured, like he's defusing a bomb. "Your blood work shows elevated troponin levels and evidence of cardiac damage. But there's something else." He pauses, glances at Linda. My daughter-in-law has gone pale, actually pale. The color drains from her face like water from a sink. "We found traces of something in your system that shouldn't be there," Dr. Patel says. "Something that doesn't occur naturally." What are you saying?" My son stands now, his voice rising. "What's in her system?" Dr. Patel's eyes meet mine. "Digoxin." The word lands like a stone in still water. Ripples of silence spread through the room. "I don't know what that is," I whisper. "It's a cardiac glycoside," Dr. Patel explains. "A medication used to treat heart failure and arrhythmias. In controlled doses, it's therapeutic, but in higher doses or in patients not prescribed the medication, it's toxic." My son's face twists in confusion. "But Ma doesn't take that. She's not on any heart medication except her blood pressure pill." "Exactly," Dr. Patel says quietly. Linda stands abruptly, the chair scraping against the floor. Her phone slips from her hand and clatters onto the tile. She doesn't pick it up. "This is insane," she says, her voice shaking. "You're saying someone what? Poisoned her?" Dr. Patel doesn't answer immediately. He just looks at her, studies her. "I'm saying," he says slowly, "that Mrs. Hayes has been ingesting digoxin for at least 2 to 3 weeks based on the levels in her system. Enough to cause dizziness, nausea, confusion, and cardiac distress. Not enough to kill her yet, but enough to make her very, very sick. Yet, I repeat numbly. Another week or two of continued exposure. Dr. Patel trails off. He doesn't need to finish the sentence. My son sinks back into his chair, his face white. Ma, where would you even get that? Did you take someone else's medication by accident? Maybe at the senior center, or… I don't go to the senior center, I say. My voice sounds far away. I don't take anyone else's pills. I barely leave the house. Well, it didn't just appear in your bloodstream, Linda snaps. She's pacing now, arms crossed. This is ridiculous. She probably mixed up her medications. She's always forgetting things. Last month, she called me 3 times asking where she put her glasses. They were on her head. Linda, my son says sharply. What? She spins on him. I'm just being realistic. She's 67. She lives alone. It's not impossible that she made a mistake. Dr. Patel picks up the phone from the floor and hands it to her. She snatches it from him, shoving it into her purse. Mrs. Hayes, Dr. Patel says gently, do you have any digoxin in your home? Any pills that aren't labeled? Any medication you've borrowed from friends or family? No. My voice is firm now, stronger. I take my blood pressure pill every morning with breakfast. That's it. 1 pill. Same bottle for the last 5 years. Dr. Patel nods slowly. And who has access to your home? The question hangs in the air. Linda stops pacing. My son looks at her. She looks at the floor. I do, my son says. I have a key. Linda does too. We stop by to check on her a few times a week. Anyone else? Dr. Patel asks. The neighbor has a spare, I say, for emergencies. But she's 83. She can barely walk to her mailbox. Dr. Patel writes something down. And you prepare your own meals? Usually, I say. Sometimes. I stop. Linda's eyes snap to mine. Sometimes what? Dr. Patel prompts. I swallow hard. My mouth feels full of sand. Sometimes Linda brings me dinner, I whisper, when she makes extra, or soup, if I'm not feeling well. The room is so quiet, I can hear the clock ticking on the wall. Tick, tick, tick. My son turns slowly to his wife. Linda? She laughs. It's a brittle, fractured sound. Oh my God, you can't be serious. You think I… She presses a hand to her chest. I've been nothing but kind to your mother. I take care of her. I cook for her. I clean her house when she's too tired. And this is what I get? No one is accusing anyone, Dr. Patel says calmly. But given the circumstances, I'm required to notify the hospital's security team and local authorities. This is a case of suspected poisoning. Suspected, Linda repeats, her voice rising. Suspected, not proven. You don't know anything. I know, Dr. Patel says, his voice hardening, that an elderly woman has been systematically poisoned over several weeks, and I know that digoxin doesn't appear out of thin air. He closes the folder with a snap. Someone, he says, looking directly at Linda, put it there. The word hangs in the air like smoke after a gunshot. Poison. Linda's face goes from white to red in seconds. Splotches of color bloom across her cheeks, her neck, spreading like a rash. This is insane, she hisses. Absolutely insane. Dr. Patel doesn't flinch. He just stands there, folder under his arm, waiting. My son is staring at his wife like he's never seen her before. His mouth opens, closes, opens again. Linda, he says softly, just talk to us. If there's something… Something? She whirls on him. Something like what? Like I've been sneaking poison into your mother's soup? Is that what you think? I didn't say that. You didn't have to. Her hands are shaking now, trembling so hard she has to clasp them together. The way you're looking at me, like I'm some kind of monster. No one said. He did. She jabs a finger at Dr. Patel. He basically just accused me of attempted murder. I stated facts, Dr. Patel says evenly. Your mother-in-law has been poisoned. That's not an opinion. That's toxicology. Linda's laugh is sharp, jagged. Well, maybe she did it to herself. Maybe she's so desperate for attention that she… Stop. My voice cuts through the room like a knife. Everyone goes silent. I push myself up in the bed, ignoring the pull of the IV, the wires taped to my chest. My whole body aches, but I don't care. I didn't do this to myself, I say. Each word costs me, but I force them out. I didn't take the wrong pills. I didn't borrow medication. I didn't mix anything up. Linda's eyes narrow. You can't possibly. I know my own body. My voice is getting stronger now, louder. I know when something is wrong. And I know that for the last 3 weeks, every time I ate something you brought me, I got sicker. The room goes deathly quiet. My son's face drains of color. Linda takes a step back, her designer purse clutched to her chest like a shield. That's a lie, she whispers. Is it? I hold her gaze. The chicken soup you made 2 weeks ago, I was in bed for 2 days after. Couldn't keep anything down. You had the flu. The casserole last week, same thing. Dizziness, nausea, heart racing so fast I thought I was dying. You're making this up. The tea. My voice cracks. You brought me tea every visit. Special tea, you said, to help me relax, to help me sleep. Linda's mouth opens, but nothing comes out. My son stands slowly. Ma, are you saying? I'm saying, I meet his eyes, that every time your wife walked through my door with food or drink, I got worse. And now we know why. This is ridiculous. Linda's voice is too high, too fast. She's talking rapid fire now, words tumbling over each other. She's confused. The medication, the poison, or whatever it's making her paranoid, she doesn't know what she's saying. I know exactly what I'm saying. Dr. Patel steps forward. Mrs. Hayes, I need to ask you some specific questions. Did anyone help you organize your medications? Sort your pills? My heart sinks. Yes, I whisper. Who? I look at Linda. She's frozen, a deer in headlights. She did, I say. 3 weeks ago, she said I was mixing them up, that I needed a better system. She bought me one of those weekly pill organizers, filled it for me herself. My son's face crumbles. Linda, tell me that's not true. I was helping. Linda's voice cracks. She's old, she forgets things. I was trying to. To what? He's shouting now. Actually shouting. I've never heard my son raise his voice at her, not once in 10 years. To poison my mother? No. Then explain it. He's in her face now, and she's backing toward the door. Explain how digoxin got into her system. Explain why she got sick every time you brought her food. Explain. I can't. Tears stream down Linda's face, smearing her perfect makeup. I don't know. Maybe someone else. Maybe she really did mix something up. Stop lying. A knock at the door. We all freeze. A man in a dark uniform steps inside. Hospital security, his badge says. Behind him, 2 police officers. Dr. Patel? The security guard says. You called about a possible poisoning case? Dr. Patel nods. Thank you for coming. This is the patient, Mrs. Hayes. And this, he gestures to Linda, is her daughter-in-law. She had access to the patient's home and medications. One of the officers pulls out a notepad. Ma'am, we're going to need to ask you some questions. Linda's eyes go wild. She looks at the door, then at my son, then back at the officers. I want a lawyer, she says. The room goes cold. My son steps back like she slapped him. What? I said I want a lawyer. I'm not answering anything without... Linda, his voice breaks. If you didn't do anything wrong, why do you need a lawyer? She doesn't answer, just clutches her purse tighter, her knuckles white. The officer steps closer. Ma'am, no one is arresting you. We just need to gather information. Do you have access to the patient's home? Silence. Ma'am? Yes, Linda whispers finally. I have a key. And did you bring her food or beverages in the last 3 weeks? I was helping. Yes or no, ma'am? Yes. The officer writes something down. Did you handle her medications at any time? Linda's jaw tightens. I organized her pills. She's forgetful. I was trying to help. Did you add anything to her medication organizer? Any pills that weren't prescribed to her? No. Ma'am, please calm down. I didn't do anything wrong. Linda's voice echoes off the hospital walls. She's old, she's confused. She probably took something by accident, and now she's blaming me because she's always hated me. I flinch, like she's hit me. That's not true, I say quietly. It is. Linda's crying now, mascara running in black rivers down her face. You never wanted us to get married. You never thought I was good enough for your precious son. This is just your sick way of… Linda, stop. My son's voice is cold, colder than I've ever heard it. Just stop. He walks to the officer, pulling out his phone. I want to file a formal complaint. I want her investigated. I want, his voice cracks, I want to know what she did to my mother. Linda stares at him. You don't mean that. I do. Baby, please. Don't call me that. She reaches for him. He steps back. And in that moment, I see it. The mask slipping. The perfect wife, the caring daughter-in-law, the woman who always had it together, it all cracks and falls away. What's underneath is something raw, something desperate, something dangerous. Fine, Linda says, her voice dropping to something flat and cold. You want the truth? You really want the truth? My son says nothing, just stares. Linda laughs, bitter and sharp. Your mother was going to ruin everything, everything we built, everything we planned. What are you talking about? My son's voice is barely a whisper. Linda's eyes meet mine. There's no warmth there, no pretense. Just pure, cold hatred. Tell him, she says. Go on, tell him what you threatened to do. My heart races. The monitor beside me screams in alarm. I don't. Tell him what you found. What you said you'd do if I didn't confess. My son looks at me. Ma? What is she talking about? I open my mouth, but nothing comes out. Because I know exactly what she means. And I know that whatever happens next, nothing will ever be the same. Linda moves toward the door. Not walking, running. Her heels click against the tile once, twice before my son's hand shoots out and catches her wrist. You're not going anywhere, he says. His voice is ice. Linda tries to pull away, but he holds firm. The officer steps forward, hand raised. Sir, let her go. We'll handle this. My son releases her, but he blocks the doorway. 6 feet tall, shoulders broad, his father's build. Linda looks tiny next to him. Trapped. Sit down, ma'am, the officer says. Not a request, an order. Linda sinks into the chair by the window, her purse falling to her lap. Her hands shake as she clutches it, knuckles bone white. The second officer moves closer to me. Younger, a woman with kind eyes. Mrs. Hayes, can you tell us what she's referring to? What did you find? I close my eyes. I don't want to do this. Don't want to say the words out loud. But I have to. 6 weeks ago, I begin, my voice barely above a whisper. I went to my son's house. He was at work. Linda was supposed to be at yoga. Ma, my son interrupts. What does this have to? Let her finish, the officer says. I open my eyes, looking at my son, at the confusion on his face, the fear. I was dropping off a birthday present for you, early. I wanted to hide it in your office closet, like I always do. My throat tightens. But when I opened the drawer to make room, I found papers, bank statements. My son's face goes pale. What? Accounts I'd never seen before. Transfers. Large amounts of money moving every week. I look at Linda now. She's staring at the floor, jaw clenched. Money from your business account, going somewhere else. The room is silent except for the heart monitor. Beeping, beeping, beeping. How much? My son asks. His voice sounds hollow. Over the last year? I swallow hard. $230,000. He staggers backward like I've punched him. That's not possible. I would have noticed. She was good, I say quietly. Small amounts, different accounts. She made it look like business expenses, equipment, supplies, consulting fees. I turn to Linda. But they weren't real, were they? Linda's head snaps up. Her eyes are red, but there's something else there now. Not shame. Rage. You had no right, she hisses. No right to go through our things. I wasn't going through anything. I was putting away a present. You were snooping, like you always do. Always watching. Always judging. Linda. My son's voice cracks. Is it true? She doesn't answer. Linda. Is it true? Yes. She screams it. Actually screams. The officer's hand moves to her belt, ready. Yes, okay. I took the money. I moved it. It's mine. It's my business. It's our money. Linda stands, shaking. We're married. What's yours is mine. That's how marriage works. Not when you steal it. My son's face is red now, veins popping in his neck. Not when you hide it offshore. Not when you... He stops. Horror dawns across his face. You were leaving me. Linda says nothing. Oh my God. You were planning to leave. I wasn't. How long? He's shouting again. How long have you been planning this? 2 years, I say quietly. Everyone turns to me. The statements went back 2 years, I continue. Small transfers at first, then bigger. She was building an exit. The female officer writes quickly. Mrs. Hayes, what happened after you found the statements? I confronted her. I look at Linda. The next day. I came to the house when I knew my son would be at work. I showed her what I'd found. And what did she say? The officer prompts. She cried. My voice is flat now, emotionless. She begged me not to tell. Said it wasn't what it looked like, that she was just trying to protect assets in case the business failed, that she was going to tell him eventually. But you didn't believe her, the officer says. No. Linda laughs bitterly. Of course you didn't. You never believed anything I said, never trusted me. You were stealing from my son. I was protecting myself. Linda's on her feet again, tears streaming. You don't know what it's like. Being married to someone who works 80 hours a week, who puts his mother before his wife, who spends every Sunday at your house instead of home with me. My son's face goes white. That's not... It is. Linda rounds on him. I'm tired. I'm lonely. I'm done being second place to your mother. So you rob me? You poison her? I didn't. Linda stops, closes her mouth. Too late. The officer steps forward. Ma'am, did you just admit to poisoning Mrs. Hayes? No. Linda's backing toward the wall now. I didn't say that. You said I didn't, implying you were about to deny poisoning her, which suggests you understood the accusation. That's not, you're twisting my words. Mrs. Hayes, the male officer turns to me. What happened after you confronted her about the money? I gave her a deadline, I say. Tell my son by the end of the month, or I would. I told her she had a choice, come clean and work it out, or I'd show him everything. When was this deadline? March 31st. The officer checks his notes. And today is April 3rd. Yes. And you collapsed on March 29th. The words sink in like stones. 2 days before the deadline. Linda's breathing fast now, hyperventilating. That's just a coincidence. Is it? My son's voice is deadly quiet. He walks to his wife, stopping inches from her face. You knew you were caught. You knew Ma would tell me. So you decided to what? Kill her? Make it look like a heart attack? No. Then what? He's shaking now, fists clenched at his sides. What was the plan, Linda? Poison her slowly, make her look senile, make everyone think she was crazy? So when she told me about the money, no one would believe her? Linda's eyes widen. Bingo. Oh my God. My son breathes. That was it, wasn't it? You were going to discredit her, make her look incompetent. So anything she said would sound like the ramblings of a sick old woman. You're insane. Am I? He turns to me. Ma, what did Linda say when she visited yesterday? What were her exact words? My throat tightens. She said I was faking, that I was dramatic, that my symptoms were vague. She was setting the narrative, the female officer says, understanding, making sure medical staff and family thought you were unreliable. She recorded the conversation with Dr. Patel, my son adds. Why? Why would she need to record it unless... He stops, realization hitting. Unless she planned to use it later, to show people how confused and delusional you were. Linda's back is against the wall. Literally. This is insane. You're all insane. Ma'am, the male officer says, pulling out handcuffs. I'm going to need to search your purse. No. Absolutely not. We can get a warrant. Then get one. Or, the officer says calmly, you can consent to the search right now and we can clear this up. Linda clutches her purse tighter. I want my lawyer. That's your right. The officer nods to his partner. But I'm placing you under investigative detention while we obtain a search warrant. You're not under arrest yet, but you're not free to leave. You can't do this. We can. And we are. The officer reaches for the purse. Linda jerks it away. Don't touch me. Ma'am, we can do this the easy way. Linda hurls the purse across the room. It hits the wall and explodes. Contents everywhere. Wallet, keys, lipstick, tissues, sunglasses, and something else. Something small, rolling across the tile floor. The female officer bends down, pulling on a latex glove. She picks it up carefully. An amber bottle. Prescription size. The label torn off. She holds it up to the light, reading what's embossed on the pills inside. Her face goes hard. Digoxin, she says quietly. Looks like 250 milligrams per tablet. Enough to... She looks at me. Then, at Linda. More than enough. The room is frozen. Linda's mouth opens, closes, opens again. That's not I don't know how that got there. It was in your purse, the officer says. Someone planted it. Who? Who would plant digoxin in your purse? I don't know. Maybe she did. Linda points at me, wild-eyed. Maybe she put it there to frame me. My son's voice is cold, dead. Get her out of here. The male officer steps forward, handcuffs ready. Ma'am, turn around and place your hands behind your back. No, please. Linda's sobbing now, makeup running in black rivers. Baby, please, you have to believe me. Turn around, the officer repeats. I love you. Now. Linda turns, still sobbing, as the officer cuffs her wrists. The metal clicks echo in the silence. You have the right to remain silent. But Linda's not listening. She's staring at my son, desperate. David, please, don't let them do this. I'm your wife. He doesn't look at her, just turns his back, and watches the window as they lead her away. Her sobs fade down the hallway. Then silence. Just the machines, beeping, breathing. My son stands frozen, staring at nothing. I'm sorry, I whisper. He doesn't respond. Just stands there. And I watch my son's heart break in real time. The door closes behind them, and the silence is worse than the screaming. My son hasn't moved. He's standing by the window, staring out at the parking lot, like if he looks hard enough, he'll see a different reality. One where his wife isn't being led away in handcuffs. One where his mother isn't lying in a hospital bed, poisoned. David, I say softly. Nothing. Sweetheart. Don't. His voice is raw, broken. Just don't. I close my mouth. Watch him. His shoulders are shaking. He's crying. My baby boy is crying, and I can't hold him, can't fix it, can't do anything but lie here with tubes in my arms and wires on my chest. Dr. Patel clears his throat. I'll give you both some time, but the police will want to speak with you again, Mrs. Hayes, probably later this afternoon. Okay, I whisper. He leaves, closing the door softly behind him. Now it's just us. Me and my son and the ghost of the woman who tried to kill me. The minutes tick by. The heart monitor beeps. Steady, strong. Getting stronger every hour now that the poison is leaving my system. How long did you know? He asks finally, his back still to me. About the money? 6 weeks. And you didn't tell me. It's not a question. It's an accusation. I wanted to give her a chance, I say, to come clean on her own. To what? He turns now, and his face is devastated. Red eyes, tear-streaked cheeks. To explain how she stole $250,000 from me? From us? There's no explanation for that, Ma. I know. Do you? He walks closer, and I see rage mixing with the grief. Do you know what it's like to find out your wife, the woman you've loved for 10 years, the woman you planned a life with? Do you know what it's like to find out she's been robbing you, lying to you, poisoning your mother? His voice breaks on the last word. I'm sorry, I whisper. It's all I can say. Why didn't you tell me? He's shouting now. The second you found those statements, you should have called me, should have. I was trying to protect you. By almost dying? The words hit like a slap. He's right. I know he's right. I trail off. I thought if I gave her the chance to confess, maybe you two could work through it. Maybe. There's no working through this, Ma. She tried to kill you. I didn't know she'd. My voice catches. I didn't think she'd go that far. He sinks into the chair, head in his hands. I should have seen it. Should have known something was wrong. How could you have known? Because I'm her husband. He looks up, anguished. I shared a bed with her, ate breakfast with her every morning. How did I not see that she was capable of? He can't finish the sentence. The door opens again. The female officer from before, still wearing latex gloves. Mr. Hayes? Mrs. Hayes? I need to update you on what we found. My son straightens, wiping his eyes. What is it? She holds up an evidence bag. Inside is Linda's phone. We confiscated this before transport, she says. And with your wife's biometric unlock, she was somewhat cooperative once she realized we could get a warrant anyway. We accessed her search history. My stomach drops. What did you find? My son asks, his voice hollow. The officer pulls out a tablet, swiping to a document. I'm going to read these to you, but I want to warn you they're disturbing. She doesn't wait for permission. March 10th. How much digoxin is fatal? March 10th. Digoxin overdose symptoms. March 12th. How long does digoxin stay in bloodstream? I feel like I'm going to be sick. The officer continues. March 15th. Symptoms of heart attack in elderly women. March 20th. Do hospitals test for digoxin automatically? March 27th. She pauses. Her professional mask slipping for just a second. March 27th. How to make death look natural. The room spins. Oh God. My son breathes. There's more, the officer says. April 1st, 2 days ago. What happens if poisoning victim survives? April 2nd, yesterday. Can poisoning be traced back to perpetrator? My son stands abruptly, hand over his mouth. He looks like he's going to vomit. She was researching, he says faintly. Even after Ma was in the hospital, she was still planning, the officer finishes. Yes, it appears so. What else? I ask. My voice sounds distant, like it's coming from underwater. The officer swipes to another screen. We also found text messages between your daughter-in-law and an unsaved number. The messages are incriminating. She turns the tablet so we can see. March 28, 11:47 p.m. Linda. It's done. She's getting worse. Unknown. Good. How long? Linda. Doctor said maybe a week if she doesn't improve. Unknown. And the old bat still doesn't suspect? Linda. She's too out of it to suspect anything. It's working. My son makes a choking sound. March 29, 3:22 p.m. Unknown. I heard she collapsed. Is she dead? Linda. No. They took her to the hospital. Unknown. What? Linda. Don't panic. They won't find anything. Unknown. They better not. This was your idea. Linda. I know. I'll handle it. Who is that? My son demands. Who is she texting? The officer's face is grim. We're tracing the number now, but based on the context and tone, she hesitates. We believe it's someone close to her, someone who knew about the plan. An accomplice, I whisper. Yes. My son's face goes white. Who? Who would help her? His phone rings. He pulls it out, staring at the screen, goes even paler. It's Rachel, he says. Rachel, Linda's sister. I've met her twice, maybe 3 times. Cold, distant, never liked me. Don't answer it, the officer says quickly. Too late. My son's already pressing the button, putting it on speaker. David? Rachel's voice is tight, panicked. Is it true? Did they arrest Linda? Yes, my son says flatly. Oh my God. David, listen to me, it's not what it looks like. She didn't do anything wrong. Your mother, she's confused, she's old, she… Stop, my son says. No, you need to understand. I said stop. Silence on the other end. The officer is recording this. Phone out, red light blinking. Rachel, my son's voice is cold, controlled. Where are you right now? Why? Just answer the question. I'm at home. Why? What's your address? A pause. Too long. Why do you need my address? Because, my son says, looking at the officer, I think you need to talk to the police. Rachel's breath catches. What? David, I don't… You knew, he says. Didn't you? You knew what Linda was doing. I don't know what you're talking about. The texts, Rachel. We found the texts. Dead silence. Then, quietly, David, did you help her? It's complicated. Did you help her poison my mother? She wasn't supposed to die, Rachel's voice cracks. It was just supposed to make her sick, make her confused, so she stops. So she'd what? I ask, my voice shaking. Another pause. Longer. So no one would believe her when she told you about the money, Rachel whispers. The admission hangs in the air like poison gas. The officer is already on her radio. This is Unit 47, requesting backup for a potential second suspect. Female, mid-30s, name Rachel. She looks at my son. Brennan, he says numbly. Rachel Brennan. Copy that. Sending patrol to… The officer looks at the phone. Ma'am, what is your address? Rachel doesn't answer. Ma'am, you need to… The line goes dead. She hung up, my son says. His hand is shaking so hard the phone almost falls. The officer is already moving. She's going to run. We need to… The door bursts open. Dr. Patel, out of breath. There's a problem, he says. My heart sinks. What? Hospital security just flagged something on the visitor log. He's pulling up his tablet, swiping frantically. Rachel Brennan checked in at the main desk 20 minutes ago. Said she was coming to visit you. What? My son's eyes go wide. But she just called from home. She lied, the officer says, hand on her weapon. She's here, in the building. I feel ice in my veins. Where? The officer demands. Dr. Patel's face is white. According to the badge she was given, she scanned into this floor. Wing C, that's… This wing, the officer finishes. We all turn to look at the door, at the small window in the door, where a shadow moves past, then stops. The doorknob turns. Slowly. My son moves in front of my bed. The officer draws her weapon. Police. Identify yourself. The door opens. And Rachel steps inside, her hand behind her back. Hi, she says, her voice eerily calm. We need to talk. Rachel looks different than I remember. Thinner, sharper. Her eyes have dark circles underneath, like she hasn't slept in days. And her hand is still behind her back. Put your hands where I can see them, the officer shouts, weapon trained on Rachel's chest. Rachel doesn't move, just stands there in the doorway, blocking the exit. I said, hands up. It's not a gun, Rachel says calmly. Too calmly. Relax. I'll determine that. Hands, now. Slowly, Rachel brings her hand forward. She's holding a folder. Manila. Thick. Just like the one Dr. Patel had this morning. I'm not here to hurt anyone, Rachel says. I'm here to tell the truth. The truth? My son's voice is venomous. You helped your sister poison my mother. That's the truth. I helped her, yes. Rachel takes a step inside. The officer tenses. But not for the reasons you think. Stay where you are, the officer commands. Rachel stops, looks at me, and something in her eyes makes my blood run cold. Not anger, not guilt, pity. You don't know the whole story, Rachel says to me. Linda didn't tell you everything, neither did your son. What are you talking about? My son snaps. Rachel's lips twist into something that might be a smile. 3 months ago, your mother found bank statements. She confronted Linda, gave her a deadline to confess. She pauses. But there's something else she found, something she didn't tell you about. My heart races. The monitor beside me screams. I told him everything I start. Did you? Rachel cuts me off. She opens the folder, pulling out a paper. Then why didn't you mention the life insurance policy? The room goes silent. My son turns to look at me. What life insurance policy? I can't breathe, can't speak. Rachel holds up the paper so we can all see. It's a policy document, my name at the top. $450,000, Rachel reads. Beneficiary, your son. Secondary beneficiary, in the event of his death, his legal spouse. So what? My son says. Ma's had that policy for years, since Dad died. True, Rachel says. But did you know that 6 weeks ago, right around the time your mother found those bank statements, Linda asked you about it? My son's face goes pale. How do you? Because she told me. Rachel's voice is flat. She called me, panicking. Said your mother was going to expose the money. Said she needed a backup plan. And then she said something interesting. She pulls out another paper, a printout of a text message. March 10th. Linda to me. If she dies and he inherits, we can take it all. He'll never suspect. My son staggers backward. No, she wouldn't. She was going to kill you too, Rachel says, her voice cracks. After your mother died, after you inherited the life insurance, Linda was going to, she stops, swallowing hard. She was going to make it look like grief, like you couldn't handle losing your mother, pills, alcohol, an accident. I feel like I'm going to vomit. You're lying, my son whispers. I wish I was. Rachel looks at him, and her eyes are wet. I loved my sister, but I loved you too. You were kind to me, to our family, and I couldn't. Her voice breaks. I couldn't let her do it. Then why did you help her? The officer demands, weapon still raised. Rachel's laugh is bitter. I didn't help her. I sabotaged her. Everyone freezes. What? I breathe. Rachel looks at me. The digoxin in your system? Linda was giving you doses 3 times what I told her to use. She wanted you dead in 2 weeks. I told her small amounts, told her it would take time. I was buying time. For what? My son asks. For this. Rachel holds up the folder. I've been documenting everything. Every text, every call, every time she talked about the plan. I have recordings, screenshots, bank records showing where she was hiding the money. She drops the folder on the bed. Papers spill out, hundreds of them. I was going to go to the police last week, Rachel says. But then your mother collapsed, and I thought maybe she'd stop. Maybe seeing her in the hospital would snap her out of it. But it didn't, I whisper. No. Rachel's voice is hollow. She got worse. Started talking about finishing the job, about how you were getting better too fast, how the doctors were asking too many questions. She looks at my son. And then she started talking about you. About how once this was over, she'd have to take care of you too. My son sinks into the chair, head in his hands. That's when I knew I couldn't wait anymore, Rachel continues. So I sent the text, the one from the unknown number. I wanted to see if she'd incriminate herself, and she did. The officer lowers her weapon slightly. Why didn't you just come forward immediately? Because she's my sister. Rachel's composure cracks. Tears stream down her face. Because I kept thinking maybe I was wrong. Maybe she'd stop. Maybe. She covers her face with her hands. But she didn't. She got worse. And I realized she was going to kill them both. So you came here, Dr. Patel says quietly. I came here to give you everything. Rachel gestures to the folder. Every piece of evidence you need to put her away. Text messages, phone records, bank statements, recordings, it's all there. The officer steps forward, picking up the folder carefully. She flips through the pages, her expression darkening with each one. This is... She looks up at Rachel. This is substantial. Why didn't you bring this to us sooner? Because I'm an idiot. Rachel's voice is thick with self-loathing. Because I thought I could fix it, thought I could control her. I work as a vet tech. I had access to the digoxin. I gave it to her, but I told her wrong dosages on purpose. I thought I was protecting everyone. You nearly let an old woman die, the officer says coldly. I know. Rachel's sobbing now. I know, and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I stare at her. This woman who helped poison me, who watched me suffer, but who also saved my life. Why digoxin? I ask quietly. Why that drug? Rachel wipes her eyes. Because Linda researched it, found out it's hard to detect unless you're specifically looking for it, and because I had access. She looks at me. I gave her the pills, but I also tipped off your cardiologist, anonymously. Dr. Patel's head snaps up. That was you? What? My son asks. Dr. Patel looks at me, then at Rachel. 2 days after you were admitted, I received an anonymous email. It suggested I run a specific toxicology panel. At the time, I thought it was strange, but he stops. That's why I tested for digoxin. You saved her life, the officer says to Rachel. I almost ended it first, Rachel counters. I'm not a hero, I'm an accomplice who got cold feet. The officer pulls out handcuffs. Rachel Brennan, I'm placing you under arrest for conspiracy to commit murder, providing controlled substances with intent to harm. I know, Rachel says, holding out her wrists. I know. The cuffs click into place. Wait, my son says suddenly. The text. This morning, the one that said, watch your back. That was you? Rachel nods. I wanted to make sure you were taking this seriously. That you'd protect yourselves if Linda somehow. She stops. I knew she'd try something. Even from jail, she has friends. People who owe her money. What people? The officer demands. It's in the folder, Rachel says. Names, addresses, people she's been laundering money for, small business owners, a few politicians. She's been running a side operation for years. My son's face is white. How did I not know any of this? Because she's good, Rachel says simply. She's always been good at hiding things, at lying, at manipulating. She looks at him. She never loved you. I'm sorry, but you need to know that. She married you for access, for money, for your mother's eventual inheritance. Stop, my son whispers. She told me on your wedding day, Rachel continues, relentless. She said, 5 years and we'll be rich. 10 if the old lady lives long. I thought she was joking. Her voice breaks. I should have known she wasn't. My son is crying now, silent tears streaming down his face. I reach for his hand. He takes it, gripping tight. I'm sorry, Rachel says to both of us, for all of it. I should have stopped her sooner, should have protected you, You should have told the truth from the start, the officer says, pulling Rachel toward the door. I know. As they reach the doorway, Rachel looks back at me one last time. She kept a journal, she says. In your house, under the floorboard in the guest bedroom closet. Everything's in there, every plan, every target, every lie. Target? I repeat. Plural? Rachel's face crumbles. You weren't the first. Before she married your son, she was a private caregiver. 3 elderly clients died under her care. All ruled natural causes. The floor drops out from under me. All heart attacks, Rachel whispers, all alone. All had life insurance policies that somehow, she stops. Check the journal. It's all there. Then she's gone, led away by the officer. The door closes. Silence. My son and I sit in the terrible quiet, the weight of it crushing. Ma, he finally says, voice broken. How many people has she killed? I look at the folder on my bed, at the papers spilling out. Evidence of evil. I don't know, I whisper. But I'm about to find out. They took Linda away 3 hours ago, and my son still hasn't said a word. He's sitting in the chair by the window, staring at nothing. The folder Rachel brought sits unopened on the bed between us. Neither of us wants to touch it. Neither of us wants to know how deep this goes. Dr. Patel comes in with a nurse. They check my vitals, adjust the IV, my heart rate is better. Blood pressure stabilizing, the poison is leaving my system 1 hour at a time. You're recovering well, Dr. Patel says gently. Another day or two and we can discuss discharge. Thank you, I whisper. He looks at my son, at the folder, at me. I've spoken with the police, he says quietly. They're exhuming the bodies of Linda's former clients. 3 women, all over 70, all died within 18 months while under her care. My son's head drops into his hands. How long? I ask. How long has she been doing this? At least 5 years, possibly longer. Dr. Patel's face is grim. They're looking into her employment history. Every job, every client, every... Stop, my son says. His voice is raw. Please, just stop. Dr. Patel nods. I'll leave you two alone. He goes. The nurse lingers, checking the monitors one more time, then follows. The door clicks shut. Silence again. Just the beeping of machines, the hum of fluorescent lights, the sound of my son's breathing, ragged and broken. I slept next to her, he says finally. Every night for 10 years. I held her, kissed her, told her I loved her. I know, sweetheart. And the whole time she was planning to kill you. Kill me. He looks up, eyes red and swollen. How does someone do that? How does someone lie that well? I don't have an answer. I thought she loved me, he whispers. I really thought. His voice cracks. I'm so stupid. You're not stupid. I am. He stands abruptly, pacing. All the signs were there. The way she talked about you. The way she always needed money. The way she'd disappear for hours and come back with vague excuses. He laughs bitterly. I just thought she was stressed. Thought she needed space. I never... You trusted your wife, I say firmly. That's not stupidity. That's love. It almost got you killed. But it didn't. He stops pacing, looks at me. Only because Rachel grew a conscience. If she hadn't, if she'd just kept quiet. But she didn't. Ma, you'd be dead. And then I'd be next. And I'd have died never knowing my wife was a murderer. The word hangs in the air. Murderer. Not attempted. Not alleged. If those bodies come back positive for digoxin, and I know they will, Linda isn't just a thief. She's a serial killer. My son collapses back into the chair. I need to call my lawyer. Need to figure out divorce papers, the house, the business accounts. He's spiraling, talking faster. And the police want me to give a statement. And the press, God, the press is going to... David. He stops, looks at me. Breathe, I say softly. He takes a shaky breath. Then another. We'll get through this, I tell him. One step at a time. How can you be so calm? Because I'm alive. I reach for his hand. He takes it, holding tight. Because you're alive. Because that woman didn't win. His eyes well up again. I'm so sorry, Ma. For what? For not believing you. For standing there yesterday while she called you a liar. For not seeing... Stop. I squeeze his hand. You didn't know. Neither of us did. She fooled everyone. Rachel knew. And Rachel nearly let it happen anyway. I shake my head. We can't change what happened. We can only move forward. He nods, but I can see the guilt eating him alive. The door opens. The female officer from earlier. She looks exhausted. Mrs. Hayes? Mr. Hayes? I have an update. My son straightens. What is it? She pulls out her tablet. We searched your mother's house. Found the journal Rachel mentioned. Under the floorboard, exactly where she said. My stomach turns. And it's detailed, very detailed. The officer's voice is carefully neutral. Linda documented everything, every target, every dose, every symptom she observed. Oh God, my son breathes. There are 4 confirmed victims before your mother, the officer continues. 3 elderly women she cared for privately. 1 man, a widower, she dated briefly before meeting you, Mr. Hayes. My son's face goes white. What? His name was Robert Chen, 72. Died of an apparent heart attack 6 months before your wedding. He left her $50,000 in his will. She never mentioned. She wouldn't have. The officer's expression is hard. According to the journal, she was already targeting you by then. Mr. Chen was just in her words, practice. I feel bile rising in my throat. The journal also contains detailed plans for your deaths, the officer says, looking at both of us. Timelines, methods, contingency plans if the digoxin didn't work. What kind of plans? I whisper. She hesitates. I don't think you want to. Tell us, my son says. The officer sighs. For you, Mrs. Hayes, if the poison failed, she planned to stage a fall down your basement stairs. Make it look like you tripped. My basement stairs, where I do laundry every week, steep, concrete floor at the bottom. And for you, Mr. Hayes, the officer looks at my son. Carbon monoxide leak in your garage. You work late in your home office above it. She'd already loosened a connection on the water heater. She was just waiting. My son's face is gray. When? According to her notes, she was planning to execute that within 2 weeks of your mother's death. So I'd be grieving, he says hollowly, distracted, vulnerable. Yes. He stands, walks to the window, presses his forehead against the glass. There's more, the officer says. Rachel's evidence combined with the journal gives us enough to connect Linda to 2 additional suspicious deaths. Women in other states, 5 and 7 years ago, before she moved here. How many? I ask. My voice sounds far away. How many people has she killed? The officer meets my eyes. We're up to 6 confirmed, possibly 8. We're still investigating. 6 people. Dead. Because of the woman my son married. The woman I welcomed into our family. The woman who brought me soup and smiled and called me Mom. She's a monster, my son whispers. Yes, the officer agrees. She is. What happens now? I ask. We've charged her with 4 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, fraud, theft. The officer scrolls through her tablet. The DA is pushing for multiple life sentences, no possibility of parole. And Rachel? My son asks. She's cooperating fully. Given her assistance and the evidence she provided, the DA is considering a plea deal. Probably 5 to 10 years. That's it? My son turns, angry now. She helped poison my mother. She provided the drugs. She also saved your mother's life, the officer says calmly, and handed us a serial killer. The judge will take that into account. My son's jaw clenches, but he doesn't argue. We'll need formal statements from both of you, the officer continues, and you'll likely be called to testify when this goes to trial. When? I ask. Could be a year, maybe more. These cases take time. A year. A year of reliving this, of testifying, of watching my son break over and over as the details come out in court. Can I see her? My son asks, suddenly. The officer frowns. Your wife? I don't think that's... I need to. His voice is firm now, resolved. I need to look her in the eye and hear her say it, hear her admit what she did. Mr. Hayes. Please. The officer hesitates, then nods. I'll make a call, but you'll need to go to the county jail, and you'll have to do it through glass. No physical contact. Fine. He's already grabbing his jacket, moving toward the door. David, I say. Wait. He stops, doesn't turn around. You don't have to do this. Yes, I do. His voice is quiet, broken. I need to understand. Need to know if there was ever anything real, even one moment. And if there wasn't? He finally looks at me, and I see something in his eyes that terrifies me. Finality. Then I need to know that too. He leaves. The officer follows, promising to keep me updated. The door closes, and I'm alone. I don't sleep. Can't sleep. Every time I close my eyes, I see Linda's face, her smile, her hands preparing my pill organizer, pouring my tea, killing me slowly. How did I not see it? How did I eat her food, drink her tea, trust her with my medications, and never once suspect? Because she was good. Because she was patient. Because she was a predator who'd been hunting for years. The heart monitor beeps, steady, strong. I'm alive. My son is alive. We survived. But how many didn't? 6 people. Maybe 8. 6 families destroyed. 6 lives cut short. Because of one woman's greed. My phone buzzes on the side table. I reach for it, hands shaking. A text from my son. I saw her. I wait. 3 dots appear, disappear, appear again. She smiled at me, sat down, picked up the phone, and the first thing she said was, "I was doing this for us." My chest tightens. She actually believes that, believes she was doing me a favor by killing you, by stealing my money, by planning my murder. She's insane. And I married her. I loved her. I type, "Come back to the hospital, please." 3 dots. Then, "I can't. Not yet. I need to drive. Need to think. I'll be back tomorrow. I love you, Ma." I stare at the screen. At those 3 words. The only real love in this whole mess. I type back, "I love you too. Be safe." He doesn't respond. I set the phone down and close my eyes. Tomorrow, I'll be stronger. Tomorrow, I'll start to heal. Tomorrow, we'll begin to rebuild. But tonight, I grieve. For my son's broken heart, for the 6 people Linda killed, for the life we thought we had. And I thank God I'm alive to see tomorrow. I wake to my phone buzzing. Not a text, a call. Unknown number. My hand hovers over it, heart racing. The clock says 2:47 a.m. Nothing good happens at 2:47 a.m. But something makes me answer. "Hello?" Silence. Then, breathing. "Mrs. Hayes." The voice is female, unfamiliar, cold. "Who is this?" "A friend of Linda's." A pause. "She wanted me to pass along a message." My blood runs cold. "How did you get this number?" "That doesn't matter." The voice is calm, too calm. "What matters is that you listen very carefully. Linda says you may have won this time, but there are people who owe her, people who don't appreciate what you've done. Are you threatening me?" "I'm warning you." The voice drops lower. "Watch your back, Mrs. Hayes. Accidents happen all the time in hospitals. Equipment malfunctions, medications get mixed up. Visitors walk into the wrong room. The line goes dead." I'm shaking so hard I drop the phone. It clatters onto the floor, and I stare at it like it's a snake. She has people on the outside. People willing to be. The door opens. I scream. A night nurse rushes in, eyes wide. "Mrs. Hayes, what's wrong?" "There was a call. I can't breathe. Can't get the words out." The nurse grabs my phone from the floor, checking the screen. Unknown number. When did they call? "Just now. 2 minutes ago. They said, I'm hyperventilating." The heart monitor screams. "They said Linda has people, that accidents happen, that—" Okay. The nurse presses the call button. "Security is coming. You're safe. I promise you're safe." But I don't feel safe. I feel like prey. Within minutes, my room fills with people. Security guards, a police officer, the night supervisor. Everyone talking at once, asking questions, taking my phone, running traces. My son arrives 40 minutes later, still in yesterday's clothes. He looks like he hasn't slept. "Ma." He's at my bedside, gripping my hand. "Are you okay?" "She has people," I whisper. "Linda has people who—" "I know." His face is grim. "I got a call too. Different number. Same message." The detective who took Rachel's statement arrives just after dawn. She's young, maybe 35, with sharp eyes and a no-nonsense expression. "Mrs. Hayes. Mr. Hayes." She pulls up a chair. We traced the calls. Both came from burner phones, purchased with cash at different locations. Untraceable. "So what do we do?" my son demands. "We take it seriously." She pulls out her tablet. "I've been digging deeper into Linda's network. Rachel gave us names, but there are more. People Linda did business with, people who have a lot to lose if she talks." "What kind of people?" I ask. The detective swipes through files. Small business owners running tax fraud schemes, a city councilman taking kickbacks, a real estate developer laundering money through fake property sales. She looks up. Linda wasn't just stealing and killing. She was running a full operation, and these people paid her well to keep their secrets. And now, they think we're a threat, my son says. You are a threat. The detective's voice is blunt. Linda's facing life in prison. If she decides to cooperate, to testify against these people in exchange for a lighter sentence, they all go down, and they know it. So they want us dead, I whisper, to pressure her, to scare her into staying quiet. Possibly. Or they want revenge. Or both. The detective leans forward. Which is why we're putting you both into protective custody, effective immediately. For how long? My son asks. Until trial. Until we've arrested everyone in Linda's network. Until we're certain the threat is neutralized. She pauses. Could be months. My son's face falls. I have a business, employees. I can't just disappear. You can, and you will. The detective's tone leaves no room for argument, because the alternative is a funeral. The words hit like ice water. There's something else, the detective says, pulling up a photo on her tablet. Do you recognize this woman? She turns the screen toward me. A woman, maybe 40, dark hair, cold eyes. I've never seen her before. No, I say. Who is she? Vanessa Torres, works as a pharmaceutical rep, also happens to be Linda's girlfriend. The room goes silent. What? My son breathes. The detective nods. They've been together for 3 years, since before you married Linda, Mr. Hayes. My son looks like he's been shot. That's not she was with me. She was with both of you. The detective swipes to another photo. Linda and Vanessa, sitting close in a restaurant booth, laughing. Vanessa's hand on Linda's cheek. We found hundreds of texts between them. They were planning to leave together once Linda had enough money. Vanessa was her partner in everything. Including the murders? I ask. We're investigating, but based on the texts, yes. Vanessa provided pharmaceutical access. Linda did the field work. They split the profits. My son stands abruptly, chair scraping. I'm going to be sick. He rushes to the bathroom. I hear retching. The detective looks at me. I'm sorry. I know this is a lot. Does Linda know you know about Vanessa? Not yet. Vanessa's in the wind. Disappeared 2 days ago, right after Linda was arrested. We have a warrant, but, she shakes her head. She's smart, probably left the country. So she's still out there, I say. Free, while Linda takes the fall for everything. For now. The detective's jaw tightens, but we'll find her, and when we do, she'll face the same charges Linda does. My son emerges from the bathroom, pale and shaking. He sits back down without a word. There's more, the detective says quietly, and you need to know before it hits the news. What? My son asks, his voice hollow. She pulls up another document. A news article. The headline makes my stomach drop. Serial killer caregiver. Local woman accused of poisoning elderly clients. Below it, Linda's photo. Her mugshot. She's not smiling. It leaked, the detective says. We tried to keep it quiet, but, she sighs. Someone at the station talked to the press. It's everywhere now. TV, radio, online. My son drops his head into his hands. Oh God. I'm sorry. The detective's voice softens. We're doing damage control, but everyone knows. My son looks up, eyes red. Everyone knows I was married to a serial killer. That I lived with her, slept with her, loved her. You didn't know. It doesn't matter. He's shouting now. No one will believe I didn't know. They'll think I helped her. They'll think I'm... His voice cracks. My business is ruined, my reputation, everything. Your life isn't ruined, I say firmly. You're innocent. Tell that to the reporters already camped outside my house. The detective shows us another photo on her tablet. News vans, cameras, journalists crowding the street. My son's street. They're at your house too, Mrs. Hayes, the detective adds gently. We've had to post officers to keep them off the property. I close my eyes. This nightmare just keeps getting deeper. The protective custody, my son says. When does it start? Now. The detective stands. We have a safe house ready. Secure location. 24-hour protection. You'll both be transported separately for safety. Can we, my son looks at me. Can we stay together? The detective hesitates. Not initially. It's safer to keep you in separate locations. If one is compromised, then the other is still protected. I finish quietly. I understand. My son's face crumbles. Ma, I can't lose you too. You won't. I reach for his hand. This is temporary, just until they catch everyone, until it's safe. And if it's never safe? I don't have an answer for that. The detective's phone buzzes. She checks it, and her expression darkens. We need to move. Now. Why? My son asks. What happened? She shows us the screen. Another text message, this one sent to the hospital's main line. The old woman dies tonight. You can't protect them forever. My heart stops. That's it, the detective says, already on her radio calling for backup. We're moving you both immediately. No time to pack, no time for goodbyes, just go. 2 officers appear at the door. One for me, one for my son. Ma, my son reaches for me. Go, I tell him. Be safe. I love you. I love you too. They pull us in opposite directions, him toward the east exit, me toward the west. I look back once. He's looking back too. And then he's gone. The safe house is small. A cabin in the woods, 2 hours from the city. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, bars on the windows. 2 officers stationed outside, another patrolling the perimeter. They give me a phone, encrypted. Only 3 numbers programmed, 911, the detective, and my son's secure line. I call him the first night. Ma? I'm here. I'm safe. Are you okay? I'm in an apartment downtown. Guards everywhere. He sounds exhausted. Ma, they found something else. My stomach drops. What? Vanessa. They tracked her to Mexico, arrested her this morning. He pauses. She's talking, giving up names. There are 12 people in Linda's network. 12. 12 people who want us dead. They're picking them up one by one, my son continues. But it's going to take time. How much time? Weeks, maybe months. I sink onto the couch. Months in hiding, months of fear, months of waiting for Linda's trial while her accomplices hunt us. Ma, there's something else. My son's voice drops. Vanessa said Linda has a 13th partner, someone the police don't know about yet, someone high up, powerful. Who? She wouldn't say. Said she'd only reveal it in exchange for full immunity. Will they give it to her? I don't know. He sounds broken. Ma, what if this never ends? What if we're running forever? It will end, I say firmly, even though I'm not sure I believe it. Linda will go to prison, her network will collapse, and we'll go home. You really believe that? I look out the window at the dark woods, at the officer pacing the perimeter, hand on his weapon. I have to, I whisper, because the alternative is unthinkable. We talk for an hour, about nothing, about everything, about the life we had before and the life we'll build after, if there is an after. When we finally hang up, I sit in the silence of the cabin. The detective was right. 6 victims confirmed, 8 suspected. But I'm not one of them. I'm alive. Scarred, broken, hiding in the woods like a fugitive. But alive. And that means I haven't lost yet. Linda's in a cell, Rachel's cooperating, Vanessa's caught. One by one, they're falling. And when this is over, when the trial ends and the verdicts come down and the network collapses, I'm going home. To my house, my coffee table, and I'm going to dust it myself. The knock on the door makes me jump, even though I've been expecting it. Mrs. Hayes, it's Detective Morrison. We're clear. I open the door slowly. She's standing there with a tired smile, 2 officers behind her. It's over, she says. We got the last one. I don't believe her at first. Can't believe her. You're sure? Positive. All 13 members of Linda's network are in custody. Vanessa gave up the final name yesterday, a county judge who was burying evidence for them. We arrested him this morning. She steps inside. You can go home. The words don't feel real. Home. I haven't been home in 6 months. 6 months of hiding. 6 months of looking over my shoulder. 6 months of encrypted phone calls and armed guards, and sleeping with one eye open. What about Linda? I ask. Trial starts in 3 weeks. The DA has everything he needs. With Rachel and Vanessa testifying, plus all the physical evidence, Detective Morrison's expression hardens. She's never seeing daylight again. And the others? Most took plea deals, 15 to 25 years each. The judge who wouldn't deal goes to trial next month. She pauses. It's really over, Mrs. Hayes. I sit down because my legs won't hold me anymore. Over. After everything, the poison, the hospital, the threats, the hiding, it's actually over. Where's my son? I ask. Already back at his house. He's waiting for you. Detective Morrison smiles. He's been cleaning all morning. Said something about making sure there's not a speck of dust anywhere. I laugh. It comes out choked, wet with tears. I didn't know I was crying. Can I? My voice breaks. Can I really go home? You can really go home. The drive takes 2 hours. I watch the trees thin out. The suburbs appear. The familiar streets of my neighborhood come into view. The officer driving glances at me in the rearview mirror. You okay back there? I don't know, I admit. Ask me when we get there. My house looks the same. The porch needs painting. The garden needs weeding. But it's mine. And sitting on the front steps, head in his hands, is my son. He looks up when the car pulls in, stands, starts walking toward me before I'm even out of the vehicle. Ma. I'm in his arms before he can finish. He's crying. I'm crying. We're both shaking. It's over, he whispers into my hair. It's really over. I know, baby. I know. We stand there for a long time, just holding each other. 2 people who survived something that should have killed us. Finally, he pulls back, wiping his eyes. Come on, I have something to show you. He leads me inside. The house is spotless, every surface gleaming, fresh flowers on the kitchen table, the smell of lemon cleaner and vanilla candles. And on the coffee table, the one Linda complained about 6 months ago, sits a framed photo. Me and my son, from last Christmas, before everything fell apart. We're smiling. I thought you'd want to remember, he says quietly, that there was good. Before all of this, there was good. There still is good, I tell him. We're alive. We're together. That's good. He nods, but I can see the weight he's carrying. The guilt, the shame, the pain of loving someone who turned out to be a monster. How are you doing? I ask. Really doing? He sinks onto the couch. Therapy 3 times a week. Medication for the anxiety. Nightmares most nights. He looks at me. But I'm here. I'm working. I'm trying. That's all you can do. I was baying. The business is struggling, he admits. We lost clients. People don't want to work with the guy who was married to a serial killer. But I'm rebuilding. Slowly. And the divorce? Finalized last month. His voice is flat. She didn't contest it. Didn't ask for anything. Her lawyer said she knew she couldn't win. Do you? I hesitate. Do you ever think about visiting her? Before the trial? No. The answer is immediate. Firm. I saw her once. That was enough. She's not the woman I married. Maybe she never was. He stands, walking to the window. I don't forgive her. I don't understand her. And I don't want to see her ever again. I nod. I understand. Some things can't be forgiven. Some people can't be redeemed. Rachel wrote to me, he says suddenly. From prison. Said she's sorry. Said she thinks about what she did every day. What did you do? Threw the letter away. He turns to look at me. She made her choice. She can live with it. That's fair. We're quiet for a moment. The house settles around us. Familiar creaks, familiar sounds. Home. Ma, there's something else. My son reaches into his pocket, pulling out an envelope. This came yesterday, from the DA's office. I take it. Open it carefully. Inside is a letter and a check. A big check. The life insurance policy, my son explains. The one Linda was planning to use to, he can't finish. I cashed it out, put half in a trust for you. The other half went to a charity. What charity? Elder Abuse Prevention. His voice is quiet. In Dad's name. They're opening a hotline, training caregivers, helping families spot the warning signs. He looks at me. So maybe next time, someone sees it coming. My eyes fill with tears. Your father would be proud. I hope so. The check in my hand is for $225,000, more money than I've ever seen. I don't need this, I say. You should keep it. His voice is firm. Please, use it to fix up the house, take a trip, do something for yourself. He pauses. You almost died, Ma. You deserve to live. I fold the check carefully, tucking it back in the envelope. Thank you. Thank you for not giving up. His voice cracks. For fighting, for surviving, for, he stops, swallowing hard, for being stronger than all of us. I stand, crossing to him, take his face in my hands. We survived together, I tell him. You and me, that's what matters. He nods, and we hold each other again. My son, my baby, the one good thing that came from my marriage. The one thing Linda couldn't poison. The trial starts 3 weeks later. I don't go. Can't go. Can't sit in that courtroom and look at her face and relive everything. But my son goes. Every day. Sitting in the front row, watching, bearing witness. He calls me every night with updates. Rachel testified today. Broke down on the stand. Said she was sorry about 100 times. Vanessa testified. Cold as ice. Didn't show any remorse. Just gave facts. They showed the journal. The prosecutor read entries out loud. People in the gallery were crying. The families of the victims gave impact statements. Ma, it was, his voice breaks. It was horrible, listening to what she took from them. I listen, hold the phone. Wish I could hold him. The trial lasts 6 weeks. The jury deliberates for 4 hours. Guilty on all counts. First-degree murder, 6 counts. Attempted murder, 2 counts. Fraud, theft, conspiracy. The judge gives her 6 consecutive life sentences. No possibility of parole. She'll die in prison. My son calls me from the courthouse steps. It's done, he says. She's gone. How do you feel? Silence. Then, empty. I thought I'd feel relief or satisfaction or something, but I just feel empty. That's okay, I tell him. You're allowed to feel empty. When does it stop hurting? I don't know, sweetheart. But it will. Eventually. He comes over that night. We order takeout, sit on the couch, watch old movies. Don't talk about Linda. Don't talk about the trial. Don't talk about any of it. Just exist together. 2 survivors trying to remember how to live. 3 months after the trial, I'm in my garden. Planting flowers, tomatoes, herbs, things that grow. The sun is warm on my back. My hands are dirty. I'm sweating. And I'm happy. Not the carefree happiness from before. That's gone. That version of me died in that hospital bed. But a different kind of happy. A harder kind. Earned. The kind that comes from surviving, from fighting, from refusing to let evil win. My neighbor waves from her yard. Looking good, dear. I wave back. She's 83, moves slow, but she's still here, still tending her garden, still living. Like me. My son's car pulls into the driveway. He gets out, carrying a grocery bag. Thought I'd make dinner, he calls. If you're up for company. Always. I call back. He disappears inside. I hear him moving around the kitchen, opening cabinets, running water. Normal sounds, safe sounds. Home sounds. I look down at my hands, dirt under the fingernails, calloused, strong. These hands held the bed rail while Linda accused me of faking. These hands gripped my son's while the police arrested his wife. These hands survived. I plant another tomato seedling, pat the soil around it, give it water. It'll grow, strong, healthy, fed by good soil and sunlight and care, like me. My phone buzzes, a text from an unknown number. My heart stops for just a second. Old fear, old trauma, But when I open it, it's not a threat. It's from Rachel's lawyer. Mrs. Hayes, Rachel asked me to pass along a message. She knows you probably don't want to hear from her, but she wanted you to know. She's teaching other inmates to read. Volunteering in the prison library. Trying to do something good with the time she has left. She'll never forgive herself, but she hopes someday you might. Attorney J. Wilson. I stare at the message for a long time. Then I delete it. Maybe someday I'll forgive Rachel. Maybe I won't. But today, I'm just going to plant my garden. Ma, my son calls from the kitchen. Dinner's ready. Coming. I stand, brushing dirt from my knees. My back aches, my hands are sore. But I'm alive. I walk inside, where my son has set the table. 2 plates, 2 glasses of wine. He's smiling. A real smile. The first one I've seen in months. To new beginnings, he says, raising his glass. To surviving, I counter. To both. We clink glasses, drink, eat. And for the first time in 6 months, I don't look over my shoulder. Don't check the locks twice. Don't jump at shadows. I just eat dinner with my son. In my clean house. With my dusted coffee table. And I live. Epilogue. 1 year later, I'm standing in a conference room downtown. 20 women sit around the table. All ages. All backgrounds. All survivors of elder abuse. Thank you for coming, I say. My voice is steady, strong. My name is Mrs. Hayes, and a year and a half ago, my daughter-in-law tried to kill me. I tell them my story. Not all of it, just enough. The warning signs, the gaslighting, the isolation, the poison, and the survival. I'm not telling you this to scare you, I say. I'm telling you this so you know you're not alone. You're not crazy, and you're not helpless. I hand out pamphlets, resources, hotline numbers, legal aid information. This foundation, I gesture to the banner behind me, my late husband's name printed in bold letters, exists to help people like us, to educate, to protect, to fight back. The women ask questions, share stories. Some cry, some rage. All of them leave with hope. After they're gone, my son appears in the doorway. You were amazing, he says. I was terrified. Couldn't tell. He walks over, straightening the chairs. Dad would be proud. I'm proud. It's not enough, I say quietly. 20 women, that's not enough. It's a start. He puts his arm around my shoulders. Next month, we'll reach 20 more, then 20 more. Eventually. Eventually, we'll save someone. I finish. Yeah. We lock up the office, walk to our cars in the parking garage. I don't look over my shoulder anymore. Don't flinch at shadows. But I'm careful. Always careful. Because I know now what I didn't know before. Evil doesn't announce itself. It smiles. It brings you soup. It organizes your pills. It looks like love until it's too late. But I also know something else. I'm stronger than the evil that tried to destroy me. I'm here. I'm fighting. I'm helping others fight. And that woman, the one who thought I was weak, dramatic, disposable, she's in a cell, while I'm free. I get in my car, drive home. The sun is setting, painting the sky orange and pink. Beautiful. I pull into my driveway. My garden is thriving, tomatoes ripening, flowers blooming. Life, growing from the ashes. I walk inside my clean house, pour a cup of tea, sit in my favorite chair, and I smile. Because some people think getting old means getting weak. Linda learned the hard way. I'm not done living yet.